0.01% impossible WWE wrestling moments. Let's get into it.
Certain moves and spots in WWE that are insanely difficult to pull off correctly. These are moves which usually take a ton of practice to perfect, and sometimes the wrestlers themselves don't even land the move with 100% accuracy until they do it live.
I remember that.
These types of moves range from insane feats of athleticism
Remember that
to
one against Carlito?
unbelievable showcases of
Saw that
strength,
one too.
endurance, and willpower.
Man,
Join
have
us
you
now as
seen all these?
WrestleMania looks at 10 once-in-a-lifetime
We about to find out.
WWE moves that will never be replicated.
Alright.
Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, WrestleMania Shorts.
WrestleMania.
Number 10, Sheamus lifts the Big Show onto his shoulders. It's no secret
I
that
vaguely
WWE
remember
wrestlers are some of the strongest athletes in the world. Some feats of strength require
Bro,
not
that's
just a great
crazy
degree
that
of
Cesaro
power,
did that.
but they also require cooperation and trust. This was most definitely the case in
Okay,
2013
I do
when
remember
during a match
this.
on Raw, Sheamus lifted the Big Show onto his shoulders.
Shit
This
was
show of
dangerous.
strength was truly incredible, and the trust that Big Show had to have in Sheamus to safely lift him can't be understated. Sheamus would then fall backwards, and this could have been a spot in which could have gone horribly wrong, but thankfully it didn't. Number 9.
Oh, well, hello, and how are you today? Just quick interruption into this video. I just want to let you all know, myself and a bunch of my friends, a couple of my friends, started a podcast. Def, Lunar, and Miho. All right, four of us that are now doing a podcast about wrestling. Not just WWE, but also AEW or some backyard wrestling. Okay, we don't discriminate against any wrestling. Okay, we all love wrestling. All right, and you can catch that podcast on YouTube and Spotify. You just got to go here, right here. Ruthless Attitude is the name of our podcast. Okay, which both links to those channels will be down below in the description. We also have a Twitter, we also have Instagram, and we have a TikTok. Okay, I will leave all of those links down below in the description. So please go follow, subscribe, do all the good stuff. If you like wrestling or love wrestling like we do, then you definitely want to watch this podcast. Take it easy.
And one-arm press slam. Bianca Belair is well established.
One of the
as
strongest
women
WWE
in
women
WWE
wrestling.
history, and a match at the
Wrestling
2023
women.
Backlash PLE event was a great showcase of her strength. Belair would collide with Io Sky in an outstanding
I didn't watch this
matchup,
match.
The majority of the match was focused on Sky working on Belair's arm. Later in the match, Belair would attempt a gorilla press slam with just one single arm.
Damn.
Somehow, she managed to execute it. Sky did have a rough landing, but she was said to be fine, which was a true miracle, as it was a scary spot that only could have been executed with a talent as strong as Belair.
That had to have
and
been
a
botched
talent
though,
as
right there.
cooperative as the genius of Sky. Number 8, moonsault into a super kick. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 was an acclaimed event by many, and one of the highlights of the event was the NXT
Ricochet
North
versus
American
Adam
title
Cole?
match between
Or
Adam
Cole
Cole
versus
and Ricochet. During the match, Ricochet would attempt to execute a trademark
Ricochet is
springboard moonsault,
amazing at high
but
flying.
This was when Cole countered by delivering a picture-perfect super kick. The
What?
margin of error for this spot was so slim, and if Cole was just 1 second off, the spot wouldn't have worked. Cole managed to land his kick at the perfect moment, and the crowd came alive.
That was
Whilst
amazing.
there was some criticism from fans who stated that this should have been the match finish, it didn't take away from the match itself. And
Yeah,
the
no.
specific spot is often played in
I don't
highlight
remember this,
packages to
but
promote upcoming
That should have
NXT
been the
events.
finish of the match right there. Holy
Number
shit.
7, shooting star press into an RKO. Randy Orton
Are
has
we talking
delivered
about,
some iconic RKOs
obviously
out of nowhere
RKO
throughout
or
his
Randy Orton
decorated career.
and-
One of the most celebrated occurred in
What's his name?
2010 on Raw.
Yeah, him right there.
Evan Bourne was getting
Yep.
set to perform a shooting star press on Orton, and this is when
One of the
Orton
most
countered it in
iconic
midair and delivered
RKOs
a
ever.
devastating RKO. The spot was magnificent, and the fans were speechless in reaction to how Orton performed this without a substantial botch. According to Bourne during an interview with Sportskeeda, this specific spot back in 2010 was a spot that started the RKO out of nowhere trend.
Yep.
The hardest thing to do in wrestling is that every time you show up, there's just a ring with 3 ropes, turnbuckles on each side. It's extremely hard to do something to surprise and shock the fans. So I can't tell you the mentality behind this stuff, because that's thousands of hours manifested into one moment. Maybe in the shower or driving down the road that the idea comes and the genius strikes, and sometimes it happens moments before you go into the ring. I'm glad I got to do the spot with Randy Orton because we started a sensation called Out of Nowhere, and people love it when that happens.
Yeah, dude,
Number 6,
his
moonsault
RKOs out of
into
nowhere
a
are amazing.
tombstone. WrestleMania 25
what?
featured one of the most beloved matches in WWE history as The Undertaker faced off against Shawn Michaels.
Very good match.
There are several spots in the match that elevated the storyline on display, but it was the final spot in the match which is often discussed when dissecting the elements of what made the match
I actually
work.
enjoy this match.
To bring the classic match to a close, HBK would attempt a moonsault, and this was when the dead man managed to capture HBK.
Oh, I
in
forgot
midair
about
and deliver
that.
A sinister tombstone piledriver. This spot could have gone horribly wrong, as the
Fuck
timing
yeah,
had
could
to
have
be
been.
just right, and the dead man had to be in precise position to safely catch one of his most notable rivals. Number 5, rolling German suplex on Braun Strowman. The second match of Night 1 of WrestleMania 39 was truly special, as 4 teams collided in a showcase match.
Yep.
Whilst nothing was at stake, all 8 competitors
my God.
wanted to steal the show,
I forgot
and
about
each
that.
respective wrestler did everything they could to make the match matter.
Oh.
One notable spot in the match made the crowd come alive, and it featured Chad Gable performing a rolling German suplex on the much larger Braun Strowman.
I don't
This
remember seeing
received
that.
one of the
Holy
largest ovations of
shit.
the entire WrestleMania weekend, and it was a clear sign that Gable, despite being one of the shortest wrestlers on the WWE roster,
Is one of
was
the
able to
strongest
deliver
wrestlers.
astonishing acts of strength. Number 4, sweet chin music out
Out
of
of
nowhere.
nowhere.
The Ruthless Aggression era was known for matches that put a focus on in-ring action, as names such as Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, and Shawn Michaels all participated in elite classics seemingly on a monthly basis.
Yeah, they
One
did.
of these classic matches
One of my
took
favorite
place
eras.
on free TV on Raw in 2005. HBK was wrestling Shelton Benjamin, and this match saw one of the smartest match finishes ever delivered on WWE. Benjamin would attempt a springboard, and this is when the cunning HBK delivered a sweet chin music.
Oh,
out of
that's right.
nowhere.
And it looked
Out
like
of
he
nowhere
actually
spots
hit him
weren't really a
hard.
thing in WWE
Because he
back
ran
in
it. Shelton Benjamin ran
2005,
into it.
so
Or look at
was
it.
truly
Flew into
wonderful
it.
to see.
It
During
looked
an
like-
interview
yeah.
with Comic Book, Shawn Michaels was asked for his thoughts on the spot, and Michaels himself admitted that it was a case of capturing lightning in a bottle. It's one of those ones that it's lightning in a bottle, lads. The timing and everything else is just
Has
so
to be perfect.
Because again, you can't do that same thing, but if the timing isn't
But it
perfect,
looked like it
this won't
actually,
quite
like,
stand the test of
legit
time like
connected
that one
and
does.
knocked him
It's
out.
one of the moments
Unlike
where
most
everything
su-
comes
most-
together,
under
and it
most-
certainly does not
unlike
hurt that
most,
have got an unbelievably stellar
Sweet chin musics or most like finishers don't really. I mean, they connect. Don't get me wrong, but this one actually, if you know what I'm saying, I don't know how to put it into words. This one actually looked like it full blown connected, just the way Shelton Benjamin went down, and then also the way Shawn Michaels' knee bent back, came back to him. So just yeah, I don't know.
athletes
I'm
like
not explaining it
Shelton
right, but I
doing
hope you all
all
know
the
what I
heavy
mean.
lifting and that type of stuff. I'm the guy that got to win, but I always argue that he's the guy and he did the majority of the work in that particular instance. I have to thank him for that. Number 3, spear into a pedigree. 2 former stablemates collided at the 2016
This
Money
is
in the
number
Bank event as
3?
Seth Rollins took on Roman Reigns for the WWE World title. This match is arguably one of the best matches of their respective careers, and the match featured a particular spot that made the Las Vegas crowd lose their minds. As Reigns was about to finish Rollins off with a spear, Rollins managed to intercept and catch
remember
Reigns
that.
with a pedigree
I
in
remember
midair.
that.
The spot could have gone badly wrong, but Rollins managed to master his timing and the spot went ahead without a hitch. It's been replicated a few times since 2016,
Yep.
but it hasn't been executed in the same manner, and the initial spot from 2016 will always be looked upon
Bro,
as
what
the
if
original
Seth Rollins
variation
jumped
of the
late and just got
ingenious
nailed in
counter.
the nuts with his
Number
head?
2, curb stomp into an RKO.
Oh, yes!
WrestleMania 31
dude,
was an
this is my
acclaimed
favorite.
WrestleMania event, and one of the reasons for this
This is
high
one of my
praise
favorite
was because Randy
RKOs
Orton
of
and
all
Seth
time.
Rollins delivered a spot which seemed to be impossible. During the final moments of their match, Rollins would attempt a signature curb stomp, and this
Yep.
was when Rollins was hoisted into the air
Bro!
to intercept with an
And it's ready to
RKO.
show-
To say that everyone was stunned would be an understatement.
Yeah.
It was only by chance that the 2 former world champions pulled off the spot correctly. According to Rollins during rehearsals, they were unable to safely execute the spot, despite trying
I remember
several
this.
times to get it right. Instead of abandoning the spot altogether, they decided to try it live, and thankfully it worked even better than they could have ever imagined. And number 1, Logan Paul's mid-air collision with Ricochet.
This is number
2023
1?
Royal Rumble featured a ton of exciting moments, but following the men's Rumble match, fans were mainly talking about the infamous spot between Logan Paul
Okay,
and Ricochet.
yeah, yeah, that makes
During the
sense,
match,
because
both men
it
would
was
springboard at the
fucking
exact same
nuts.
time and collide
Oh.
into the ring. This was truly
if
breathtaking.
y'all didn't watch this
The
live,
chances of landing
or just
this
didn't watch it, go
correctly
back and
and,
watch
more
it.
importantly,
Because
landing
the
spot
sound of it,
safely were very slim.
oh.
It looked incredible on TV, and Ricochet would go into detail during an interview with Chris Van Vliet in relation to how the spot was executed. Going into it, I told him, listen, I want you to be as comfortable as possible. So I don't want you to wait on me. I don't want you to think about me. I don't even want you to worry about me at all. Whenever you're comfortable, you just go, and I'll time it off your jump. I'll
Yeah.
time it off you. I will go with you to make sure that we're good.
Which is really cool of
It's
Ricochet
like,
to do.
Don't worry about if I'm gonna jump or if I'm gonna do or if I'm gonna go. Don't worry about me. You just go, and then I'll follow you. I'll follow suit.
Shit's
He certainly
insane.
did.